Welcome to Elevate English. Elevate your English. Elevate your life. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to the Elevate English channel. Let's start our story. In the Garden of Memories. The town of Arbor Hills was known for its towering oak trees, its cobbled streets, and, most notably, its charming little bookstore at the corner of Elm and Maple. The Book Nook had been a staple in the town for as long as anyone could remember, owned and run by a quiet, thoughtful woman named Lily. The shop was more than just a place to buy books, it was a sanctuary for those who loved the written word, a place where time seemed to slow down, where readers could lose themselves in a world of imagination. Lily had inherited the Book Nook from her grandmother, a woman whose love for literature had shaped the town in ways that still rippled through the generations. Lily, though quiet and reserved, had always felt a deep connection to her grandmother, even after her passing. She ran the bookstore with the same care and love, always ensuring that it remained a safe space for everyone who walked through the door. Her days were filled with the familiar routine of organizing books, recommending novels to regulars, and sharing her own love for poetry with anyone who would listen. But Lily's life, as full as it was with stories, lacked a story of her own. She had never been in a serious relationship, too focused on the shop and her grandmother's memory to ever truly explore love. There had been brief moments of infatuation here and there, but none that had ever felt lasting. Over time, she convinced herself that perhaps she wasn't meant for love. The Book Nook had become her companion, and the idea of finding someone who would fit into the quiet rhythm of her life seemed distant and unlikely. That was until the day Nathaniel Bennett walked into the store. Nathaniel, a writer who had recently moved to Arbor Hills to escape the noise of the city, stepped through the door on a crisp autumn afternoon. He was in his early 30s, with sandy brown hair and a pair of glasses that made him look perpetually lost in thought. He had heard about the Book Nook from a friend and decided to visit, hoping to find a sense of peace in the quaint, quiet shop. When Nathaniel stepped inside, the scent of old pages, polished wood, and freshly brewed coffee enveloped him. The atmosphere was warm and inviting, much like the picture of the shop he had conjured in his mind. He hadn't expected to find such a haven. Lily was behind the counter, reading a novel, her face soft with concentration. She looked up when she heard the bell above the door chime. Their eyes met, and Nathaniel was momentarily caught off guard by the intensity in her gaze. She looked like someone who carried the weight of generations in her bones, someone who belonged to the past yet was very much alive in the present. "Can I help you find something?" Lily asked, her voice gentle, yet with a note of quiet curiosity. Nathaniel smiled, feeling a warmth spread through him. "I'm just browsing, actually. I've heard good things about this place." Lily returned the smile, her eyes flickering with a hint of pride. "It's a little piece of home," she said, standing and gesturing to the shelves filled with books of every genre. "We have a little bit of everything. If you need any recommendations, feel free to ask." Nathaniel nodded and wandered over to the poetry section, his fingers tracing the spines of the books. Poetry was his first love, the thing that had inspired him to become a writer. He spent hours reading poems as a child, losing himself in the rhythm and beauty of the words. He often found solace in the pages of poets who spoke of longing, hope, and love, emotions that he had long since buried within himself. Lily watched him from the counter, noticing the way he moved with purpose, the way he seemed to devour each book with his eyes. There was something familiar about him, something that made her heart stir. But she quickly shook the thought away. She didn't have time for distractions. She was content with the life she had. Nathaniel picked up a book of Emily Dickinson's poems and turned to Lily. "I've always loved her work," he said, his voice soft but earnest. There's something about the way she captures emotions that feels so raw. Lily smiled, her eyes twinkling. She has a way of cutting through the noise and getting straight to the heart of things. A rare gift. Nathaniel chuckled. I've always admired that. I wish I could write like that, simpler, yet more profound. Writing is a journey, Lily said. You have to start somewhere, and sometimes it takes time to find your voice. There was a long pause between them, the silence filled only by the soft rustling of pages. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it was different, more intimate than either of them had expected. Finally, Nathaniel broke the quiet. I'm new to town. Just moved here, actually. I thought a small place like this might be the perfect escape. Lily nodded, a knowing smile on her lips. It's a good place to find peace. Arbor Hills has a way of doing that to people. Nathaniel smiled, his eyes softening as he took in the warmth of the shop. I think I'll be spending a lot of time here. And so, the days passed. Nathaniel continued to visit the book nook regularly. He would spend hours there, not just reading but also talking to Lily. They would discuss everything from literature to their childhoods, their hopes for the future, and the lives they had left behind. Nathaniel learned that Lily's grandmother had been the heart of the town, a woman who had touched the lives of many through her books and her kindness. Lily, in turn, discovered that Nathaniel's move to Arbor Hills had been a choice born out of loss, a desire to find something that he couldn't quite name in the chaos of the city. As their friendship deepened, so did the unspoken connection between them. Lily began to feel a fluttering in her chest every time Nathaniel walked into the store, his warm smile and easy laugh making her heart beat a little faster. She found herself waiting for his visits, wondering what he would say next, what he would share. Nathaniel, too, had started to notice how much he looked forward to seeing Lily, how her presence seemed to fill a space inside him that he hadn't even realized was empty. One evening, as winter's chill set in and the first snow of the season fell outside, Nathaniel came into the shop, his face flushed from the cold. Lily was tidying up the counter, her movements slow and deliberate. When she looked up and saw him standing there, she smiled. You made it in time, she said, nodding toward the small kettle on the counter. I was just about to make some tea. Would you like some? Nathaniel smiled, stepping closer. I'd love that. As Lily prepared the tea, the soft hum of the shop seemed to fill the air, wrapping them in a comfortable silence. Nathaniel watched her as she moved about the space, her movements graceful and effortless. He couldn't deny that he was drawn to her in a way that was deeper than just admiration. There was something about her, the way she carried herself, the warmth in her eyes, the gentleness in her voice, that made him feel as though he had known her forever. Lily set the cups down on the counter and sat across from him, her fingers tracing the edge of her cup. It's beautiful outside, she said, her gaze drifting toward the window. The first snowfall always feels like a new beginning. Nathaniel nodded. I agree. It's like the world is pressing pause for a moment, letting everything reset. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the world outside ceased to exist. Lily felt her heart quicken, and Nathaniel couldn't bring himself to look away. There was an electricity between them, something undeniable. He reached across the table, taking her hand in his thumb brushing over her knuckles. Lily, he said softly, his voice trembling with the weight of what he wanted to say. I came here looking for peace, but I think I found something else, something I didn't even know I needed. Lily's breath caught in her throat. She had always kept her emotions buried, afraid to let them surface, but in that moment, with Nathaniel's hand in hers, she felt a rush of feelings she hadn't allowed herself to experience in years. I think I feel the same way, she whispered. Nathaniel leaned closer, his gaze intense. Then let's see where this journey takes us. And so, they began their story. Their love blossomed quietly but steadily, like the slow turn of a page in one of their favorite books. They spent their days walking through the snow-covered streets, sharing books, poetry, and dreams. With every passing day, they fell deeper in love, their hearts slowly knitting together. The book nook became a place where they could truly be themselves, a place where their love was nurtured, and their bond grew stronger with every chapter they wrote together. As the seasons changed, so did their love, but it remained constant, gentle, steady, and full of the quiet joy of knowing they had found something rare, something that was always meant to be. The end.